as the fans treat it to a Monday afternoon race here in New England. We're racing on Magic Mile. You're going to see those big bumps coming into turn number 3 affecting these cars. You saw it there as they exit 4 for the first time. And it's Bell, Truex, Almirola, Logano, and Blaney all in the top 5. And now 3 wide back here. Austin Dillon in the middle in that number 3.
This is a really tough pass at this racetrack. You would think the bottom lane is the fastest, but not always here. That second, third lane that you just saw, the 19 car Truex, has more banking in it. A lot of times more grip. You saw Truex use it to make that pass.
Yeah, the guy on the bottom just struggles to be able to get to the throttle to accelerate, where the guy on the outside has that ability. You see Truex driving away from the 20 here, putting a little distance.
He made on this upcoming stop
back straightaway.
if he pits.
The 31 car, or the 16, AJ Allmendinger has spun out off of turn 2.
Happened, Frank. You just spin. Fun, but I can't tell. I think left rear is down. Left rear is down.
He was running 11th. So he had good track position. Didn't lose it. Didn't lose too much track position. Was able to get it going for relatively quickly.
Good chance that this is going to end up being the competition caution as well.
He's sideways early. Don't know if he got the left front up on the apron there, trying to exit low, but the car comes around really quickly. The drivers have said that, you know, once you do get out of shape, it's very difficult due to the low sidewall on this tire. It's hard to catch this thing as it's starting to spin around on you, and you don't have that side force, that straight right rear quarter panel they've had for decades to help you save that car.
So you're going to see here kind of at the top of your screen, Allmendinger enters. He's been running kind of high. Just behind him, though, Kyle Busch spins around and backwards. If you wait a moment, here comes the 7 of LaJoie. Another hard contact. Drivers, seems odd.
Looks like something might be on the racetrack there, guys. We'll have to take a look.
So a couple bent up race cars here. Stage 2 underway.
Almirola really aggressive. I'm sorry, that's Keselowski. Very aggressive on the bottom, making it 3 wide. Going to see that all day. The restarts here.
And he throttles up, slides right in front of the 99. So that's a win. That's a spot gained by that aggressive move to the inside. Ty Gibbs back here in that 54 up the racetrack.
See Bubba Wallace look to the inside there of Suarez. Couldn't make the pass happen.
3 wide there with Harvick in the middle. Here comes a 5 of Larson to the inside of Brad Keselowski. Oh, contact with the 54 all the way up the racetrack. Keeps it out of the fence. Coming back down the racetrack, though. Will they give him room? Going to race hard around the outside of the 48 of Bowman.
And there was contact made. Pretty hard contact on the inside of the 24 of William Byron. It looks like the right front is okay, but take a look at this.
So when you talk about responsibilities, that is the 24's responsibility to wait. The car leaving does not have the right-of-way. The right-of-way is to the car entering. The crew chief of the 24, Rudy Fugle, needs to hold his driver.
Erik Jones is going around in turn 4. He got into the wall just a little bit in the middle of the corner.
Let's take a look what happened to the 43. He's also running that really high entry we've seen drivers run today.
He was 24th when this happened.
So he goes by the camera, but right there he gets up into the fence, and as he's trying to steer the car off the wall, there's tons of debris and marbles up there, and when he turns the car down across the racetrack to get back down the track, it just brings the back end around because it's dancing across marbles and debris and all types of stuff. And he gives it a little bit of throttle just so it doesn't spin and back into the fence.
The main screen there in the middle. Take a look at the restart.
Green.
I was focused on Brad Keselowski. I've got to tell you, it looked like he took the hardest left turn.
Oh, the 10.
All the way up and into the wall goes the 10 of Aric Almirola. Caution comes out. Big damage on the right rear.
Clear down now. Caution's out.
I don't know if that right rear tire is broken from the damage or the contact, or whether it was coming off the race car.
Broke.
Yeah, it's
Okay,
like,
your right rear.
like the
Your
right rear like the right rear tire wheel was coming off of the car because of one of the lugs maybe not tight.
Almirola's wasn't tight. You just heard Almirola's last win was here. That was 69 races ago, back in 2021.
Man, they were running so good today. This is going to be a big disappointment for this team.
Kim.
And during that stop, you saw the issue with the 10 car and the fact that the rear changer was having a little bit of trouble. After that stop, Eric asked, did we get them tight? They told him yes. Then just now after this incident on the radio, he said, how did this happen? Drew Blickensurfer, the crew chief, said the lug wasn't tight.
That's so disappointing. You said it, Junior. They had a fast car, a real shot to win this race. Let's go back and watch what happens. See Aric Almirola at the front of your screen.
Starts to throttle up, and he can feel it right away. It's starting to come off and starting to smoke on the quarter panel, and he locks down the front. It's like driving a forklift at that point with the rear of the car just steering around uncontrollably. That tire's trying to work its way out of the wheel well.
And it's horrible for the 10 car shot to win, and all those guys that you just, look at the right rear wheel, look at the right rear tire. I mean, it's off the car essentially.
Great shot here. I want to make sure to thank our.
There goes the wheel nut up
the nut goes right up the racetrack, and he wasn't going to let up. That's for sure. Final lap. By the way, this is probably a little bit late to tell you this, but if you haven't changed your fantasy lineup, you have to do it within the next 5 seconds. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to get that garage driver out there. But if you've got Truex Jr. in your lineup, you're pretty good because he won stage 1, and now he has won stage 2. Kyle Larson hanging on, as well as Logano with those 2-tire stop strategies for a 2nd and 3rd. And we've got an issue. The 42 of Noah Gragson. It looks as though something broke.
Yeah. Bring it back to pit road. It's under yellow.
He said brake rotor or something. Remember, this is a driver that had brake issues at St. Louis and actually caused him to miss races after that wreck at St. Louis. So we just heard on the radio a brake rotor again. We'll have to get a little bit more information to see if he's correct, but you can see big damage to
right
the
front or something.
There you go, either a tire or a rotor. He knows something failed on the 42 car.
Yeah, that wheel is about to come off.
Yeah, so you can see the concrete or the paint from the safer barrier in the lip of the wheel, which tells me that he hit the wall very, very hard. Let's take a look at it, guys.
You see he's heading down into the corner. You see the right front just dropped, and the car would not turn at that point. So certainly the right front's down right there. Now it's never going to turn. He thinks it might have broken a rotor.
Well, he was just off pit road at lap 266. So that was like 5 laps ago. So you wonder if the new tire, let's watch this. I mean, for sure something on the right front goes down, right? Whether it's the tire or a rotor causes the tire or it's just a flat tire. You know, could there have been something that happened on the pit stop that damaged the valve stem and a slow leak on the wheel? Either way, a right front issue for the 42.
Normally, if it's a rotor, we'll see things fly through the hood. We'll see a big explosion on the right front fender, etc., Steve. Don't really see that in this case.
Guys, I'm pretty sure on one of the first replays I saw the ring, the lug come off. I think the wheel came off.
Well, so the other thing that can happen, to Rick's point, is if the lug nut does come loose, the wheel can, there you go. So if that's the wheel nut, what happens is the wheel comes off the hub enough that the brakes, we showed you earlier in the animation how close the brakes are to the aluminum wheel. At 140 miles an hour, that is basically like putting it in a machine shop. That brake rotor cuts right through the aluminum wheel and takes all the air out right away. So that might have been exactly what happened, Rick, right? Is the...
Right there.
Yeah, so first of all, tight wheel nuts don't come off even after hitting the wall. Makes no difference. The impact won't change it. So, Rick, I think you're absolutely right. I would say that the wheel came loose. Well, all the leaders take 2 tires, unfortunately for Ryan Blaney. Penalty coming up. Clean pit stop, but watch as he leaves. The tire changer doesn't leave. He drives over the hose, running over equipment. Penalty coming for Ryan Blaney.
Way here. Oh, we got a crash.
I reckon.
The 48.
On the back stretch, Alex Bowman in front of it.
Everybody gathers it up, but the caution's out.
So the caution comes out for the 7th time. and another restart in front of us.
Yeah, now fresh tires are over for the leaders. Whatever you have on is what you have with 21 to go.
'19 and 22. Couple New Englanders up front, but it was right here, the fight for real estate. And into the back of the 48 was the 54 of Gibbs. As they're 2x2 now, Truex Jr. on the outside, Logano on the inside. Logano not as good a restart as we saw out of the 19. Truex Jr. clears him by a car length.
Chase Briscoe to the inside of a 5 car back there, not going to be able to make that work. Larson accelerates. Look at Harvick on the outside, back into third. He's going to have a run on Joey down the back straightaway. He stays in line.
Reddick all the way on the bottom of the racetrack. Whoa, one car way up the racetrack.
One car, Chastain, trying to gather it up here and get back down the racetrack as they come off turn 4.
On the 22.
Oh, the 20's hard in the wall. Christopher Bell, big contact with the right rear and the right front. That car is done.
Stay down here. Stay.
And you look at the damage to the right rear.
20 was running in 8th place. Not sure if he got any contact or just sailed it into 3 and up into the marbles.
Loose end, bounce, loose end.
Loose
Hit
end.
bounce, hit the wall.
Just trying to do too much. You can see the car sideways, and he's just chasing it up the racetrack. No way to save it.
Huge, huge impact, too. Big damage.
Changed 2 tires the last time on pit road. Green flag back in the air. 9 to go at the Magic Mile. Logano trying to clear the 5. They're 3 wide back there for 6th. Logano just gets in front of the 5. He's up to 2nd.
And that's exactly what he wanted. He was afraid with that 5 car sitting there. If he didn't get a great launch, he was going to be running 3rd.
Just 1 lap to go. Presented by Credit One Bank. The 43-year-old a year ago, the question was out there if he was going to retire or if he was going to continue on. Fighting for another championship, but this time it will be the first time that Truex Jr. in his career has won at New Hampshire. The 22 has closed the gap, but not enough. Truex Jr. is going to win at the Magic Mile.
We got that damn lobster. Hell yeah, boy.